Welcome back to the channel. In today's Plankerton Endurance tutorial, we're going to be going over the west side. It's the amp right here. And if you have not done so already, go ahead and cover your amp like this. You know, the updates nowadays are hectic. There's no telling what is going to happen. So just cover your amp all fancy. I like to cover it like this, but yeah. Alright, carrying on. The first thing we're going to do is add a one, I mean, you can add more if you want, but just add one anti-air thing right there. And you can add a couple extra if you would like, but this is the amplifier that gets hit with the meteors. So we just have to prepare for that. And you can add more roofing here, but if no enemy, which no enemy will get to it, so the amplifier should be fine by getting hit with a couple of the meteors. But if you, yeah, okay, carrying on, we're gonna do a pathing like this. Right here on this hill, we're gonna add a ramp. This will make the enemies want to go completely the long way around the amp. So you'll have plenty of time to kill them. And this is the pathing laying down right here. And their spawn point is basically right there on that amplifier. Right there to the north. Okay, so some of the block offs that we're going to have to do is right here on this incline. And this little cave right next to the hill, just completely seal it off if you haven't sealed it off already. And we're also going to seal off this tunnel right here with the angled walls that are facing the correct direction, because the enemies are going to be coming this way. So we need to face like a so. And we're just going to block off this with the standard block off cones and walls with some added traps later on, just for that extra kick. Yeah, cone on here and cone on this one. Well, yeah, like that. Yeah, that happened. You just cone yourself in like that and just, yeah. For moving on, we're gonna have to cone off this other little side of the hill here, and that'll prevent the enemies from going up there unless some damage happens to the wall. And sometimes the assassin husks. Okay, you know how annoying they are. Go ahead and fill in this little area here. I'm gonna go ahead and wall off this area. Two tiles tall for the standard traps, which I know drop traps used to be my favorite trap, but apparently they're not working as good. So if you like, you can switch some of the drop traps that we use with the zappy zaps. Electric selling fields, I would choose. Okay, so some of yeah, we're gonna have to start with the block off. It's gonna be one tile away from the hill over there, because there is a spawn point on that hill that it's usually a husky husk. It seems like always spawns or something like that on that hill. There's one spawn point we'll take care of, and there's another one on this other hill, which just messes everything up sometimes. So yeah, just fill in a slinger wall of around 3 tall like this. Just fill in that entire area. This will prevent slingers from wanting to throw. Hopefully, unless they update it. They decide to update slingers for, yeah, fun times. Moving on. Okay, one spawn point I was talking about earlier is right down there, right here in front of this tile. Not this tile, not that tile. This tile over here, and we're just going to. You could just put a wall right here if you wanted to, and that would mostly keep them from wanting to walk around. But we're just going to because these enemies are so annoying, and why is there a spawn point here? We're just gonna kill them with the little crisscross trappy trap. So use your wall darts, which I am completely prepared like usual. So these are the just basic crit wall darts that I use. You can use pretty much anything, any wall dart will work right here. So yeah, we're just going to do that. And sometimes it ends up breaking, and it's just as annoying. So we're going to add ceiling electric fields right here on this corner, which will just add a little kick to the enemies that spawn here. And that's this extra spawn point covered. And if you want, you can put more block off there if you find it's necessary. And now we're going to, okay, about right here, just one tile over. I'm just making sure I got this right. Yeah, right even with this drop off hill right here, which would be great for tire traps, but we aren't. Okay, moving on. Okay, we're gonna add we're just gonna spawn, kill a couple of them. We're gonna add a 3 by whatever. Just fill this in however you like to the edge of our previous ceiling drop trap, and place a wall here, which will also help. Will keep the enemy that spawns on top of that ridge off the top of this thing. I'll test it thoroughly to be 100% sure on that, because the spawn point here is a new build to my old one. So yeah, and this it spawns like right here, like. So let's just add a little traps, like I say, and also just to keep them from just to keep them inside here. We'll just add another walls right here. That way it'll drop. He'll drop down here and he'll walk through our tunnel. We're gonna add a couple flooring here, and here, and right about there. Their spawn point is, yeah, it's right there, so it's really close to that. We're going to add a block off to this cliff, and we're also going to wall in our pathing. Like I said, and our block off on this corner here, we're going to add a angled wall, and then on the second block off, the angled wall needs to be facing the north, like that. Yeah, like that. And then another one, a cone facing there. And if you want, you can cap it off with some cones if you find it necessary. And now we're going to add a too tall deathificator 7,000 tunnel. That's what we're calling this. Yeah, the deathificator 7,000 tunnel. And connect. It'll be just wall it in. And the side you really need to wall in is the side to the west. And, believe it or not, they'll walk all the way around just because this is opened over here. And that's the final spot. Even smashers will they used to. As I say they will, but you never know with an update. Yeah, okay, we're just walling this in like that for our trap box. And you don't have to wall in this side necessarily. And yeah. And that's pretty much it for our pathing and traps. Now we can just add our traps to the ceiling right here. Now on this hill, just in case some of the enemies aren't stunned yet, this will roll them back down to our kill box, which is right here. And we're going to put another row just to whatever, yeah, tires here just along the edge. Sometimes the assassin husks like to run around there. So now we're going to add some ceiling electric fields, a line of them, and you can add one on the edge over here, and you can add more if you wanted to, which you should do after you build all your amps. You should go through, add a couple extra traps here and there, and that's exactly kind of what I'm doing here with this amp. I have about 100 structures right now. That's including a material grinder. So yeah, we're just gonna put in the ceiling electric line right here, and then tires would not be good here, because if we put tires right here on this hill, the tires would push them down toward the amp, and we want them to go as slow as possible to the amp. Actually, we're gonna add a couple more just traps here and there with the muffler. Make sure the muffler is facing this way. That way that when the tires roll out of the ceiling drop trap, it'll roll them, it'll push the enemies back to the opposite side of that muffler on that ceiling drop trap. And then wall darts lining here. You could use some broadsides or wall darts, whatever your preference. I'm using wall darts. I might come in later and add some broadsides just for the lulz, right? And just fill this wall right here. I mean, I want to put a floor launcher here, but I know by the time the enemies get here, they should be all completely unstunnable. Thank you, Fortnite, for that update. I don't know what they were thinking. Is that like the 5th time I said something about the update? Yeah, I should probably stop that. Okay, we're just gonna add a little crisscrossy, zappy thing for all the enemies are gonna be coming up here on this tunnel right here. So we're gonna just zap them and for the most part, on the lower waves, there's just going to be assassin husks in here. You might get a smasher wave, but when we add enough, this is like a smasher tunnel slash. All the enemies are going to come this way, so you'll have plenty of time to kill the enemies however you want. Besides stunning them. But we're gonna just fill the tunnel with wooden floor spikes like that, and yeah. And if you don't know, after the 5th stun, they still slow down from a wooden floor spike. They'll still slow. It's just the ceiling that they nullified right now. So yeah. And add a couple more wooden floor spikes here and there, like so. And believe it or not, you could finish a couple waves with just wooden floor spikes. Tested. Yeah. Okay, anyway, moving on. This is what it should look like, roughly. And all the enemies will spawn here, and mostly they come right through here. You don't have to add too much. So we're going to pretty much be spawn killing them. So you can add a couple more ceiling electric fields further on down if you like. And now we're going to add... we need to add the traps for smashers and stuff, just to make sure the smashers die if they come, not if, but when they come through this tunnel. I mean, you could, I'm just going to get creative with this tunnel right here and just do a little, man, I really hope these things will work anyway. I'm assuming an enemy will get past the 5th stun and be here around this point to get zapped by this kill stun spot. So yeah, we're gonna add a couple zappies to the ceiling here. And that's yeah, a little nuke for the, you gotta nuke the smasher when he gets if he gets around here. So yeah, that looks good. Just like a doe, like so. Little wall dart for the final touch. And believe it or not, that's pretty much it. Hope y'all enjoyed today's tutorial, and have a wonderful day. See ya.